Hey everybody, how we doing? How we doing? How's that audio? Is that audio good? I want you to be able to hear the music though, because it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice music. We appreciated it last time, but it's been a while. It's been a while since Persona 5. Audio is like Iowa, crisp. That's true though. Iowa fall is crisp, in a really refreshing way. I miss that actually. I miss changing seasons in general, but it's all right. It's all right. Having it be warm all the time is good too. It has its own benefits. The mic might be a little hot. It's definitely going into the red a bit. Might be a little hot. We'll see. How's everybody doing? Hello, hello. Welcome to a chill Persona 5 stream. We gotta sneak in. No front door for us. Yeah, there we go. Do you miss your Taurus defroster and heater? No. Oh no, that was a miserable time for me. Absolutely miserable. I just got my Shaq-a-roni pizza. I don't even know what that is. Does Shaq make his own pizza? What? She'll wind down to a busy week. Yeah. Yeah, Blood was talking about it, and he's totally right. For July under quarantine conditions, it has been pretty busy. I'm sure, you know, a lot of that, some of that has to do with kind of the extended E3 time and next gen. But, you know. Let me thank some resubs real quick. Thank you, Fleetwood. Thank you, Captain Bobamus. Great name. For the 35 months. Anybody else? Casno, thank you. Ben Coon stole my heart. Well, that's good, man. That's good. I haven't streamed in forever. We didn't even have a celebratory muting of myself. Can you imagine? What's going on? Nothing makes sense anymore. Hi, Eberlin. How you doing? Oh, there's time for that. That's true. We usually do it at the beginning, though, too. Chat. I really want to stream this because I think it's super good. I was playing a smidge of Hades yesterday because Twitch chat was actually talking about it, and I was like, you know, I've tried that and I really liked it. I want to get back to it. Hades is a damn fine game. Don't sleep on Hades. One of these days, I hope I can join Events Dojo. Definitely, man. Ever thought of learning KI? I would like to learn KI, I guess. When I've played KI, I've really enjoyed it, and it's a game that I'm always like, I wish I put more time into that. But that's about it, I guess. Reflecting the ruler's heart. Forgot about Hades. Yeah, I forgot about Hades as well. It's been kicking around in early access for a long time. But really, honestly, truly, very impressive. I think when you hear a back-of-the-box summary of what Hades is, right, where it's another roguelike, you know, in a Greek mythology skin, I think your brain is just like, man, there have been a lot of roguelites and maybe, you know, that's not that interesting right now, but I think it has more going on than a lot of its competitors. The No Clip Hades documentaries are super good too. I don't make enough time to watch No Clip. It's one of the... No Clip is that channel that I'm always like, I should watch that later. And then I just never watch it later. But they definitely do fantastic stuff. The things that I have caught. Do I cut my own hair? I don't cut my own hair, no. No. I don't trust myself to cut my own hair. Okay, so can we move forward? Are we gonna get zapped? No, we're not. Does your wife cut hair? No. Neither of us trust her to cut my hair either. Is the haircut bad? Is that what's going on? Do I have a bad haircut? I like my haircut. Dude, it was getting gnarly in the back. It was too long. It's just things are shut down again. Yeah, Rockmane, that's funny because I was able to get my hair cut. I don't remember the exact time. I think it was like a day or two before everything shut down again. Maybe it was a little bit longer than that. Maybe it was like closer to 5 days or something. But it was, needless to say, it was pretty shortly before everything shut down again. So yeah, now I can't get a haircut. Excited to play Ghost of Tsushima tomorrow? Nice! I am excited to play more of Ghost of Tsushima. Because I don't... how do I phrase this? I don't love it, but I want to finish it. So I don't think excited to play more of it is the right call. Not the best wording there, but that's what I'm trying to express. Are you burned out on open world games? I really don't think so. No. I don't. I'm not. I like open world games. I like exploring. I just think the open world has to be good, right? But it is true there are a lot of open world games on the market, as JIF says. This one's different. Would you say you're intrigued? Yeah, I'm intrigued. I think it's good to challenge your own opinions, right? And the duels, and I don't want to like go into great detail, but you do samurai duels, right? That was in the trailer and the E3 stuff. Those are my favorite parts of the game, and I did one last night that really bumped up the difficulty in a satisfying way, and so it felt more complicated. The narrative implications of that duel were really, really cool, and so I enjoyed the duel a lot. I like good combat. That's the thing that really gets me going in games. That's actually the most insulting thing about good artists, is you look at a piece of art and you're like, oh my god, this is so amazing, I could never do this. But the insulting thing, the BM, is when they sign their name on their art piece and you're like, I can't even sign my name that cool. They're adding insult to injury here. They're making the period cooler than anything I can do. Rivia, Persona 5 was a great ride. Yeah, man. 38 months, thank you. I have embarrassingly bad handwriting. Although, one of the best moments of my life, one of the best compliments I ever got, it sticks with me to this day, is I was hanging out with my friends in high school, and we were in the cafeteria, and I was, I don't know, working on homework or some shit, and they were like, wow, your handwriting's really bad. And this girl who I wasn't really friends with, but was, you know, we weren't unfriendly to each other. She was like, no, I think it just means that Ben is a free spirit. And that was it. And I was like, you know, I am a free spirit. Thank you. That has stuck with me for a long time. My wife has pretty good handwriting. For sure. The handwriting thing worked out, though, because I never handwrite anything anymore. Like, almost never, right? Extremely rarely. Take that, education system. You're worthless. I can write in cursive. I'm actually much better at cursive writing than standard. I feel like I'm the last of people who actually learned cursive in school. Yeah, I'm probably in the same boat. It has been discontinued for a while, I think. But I don't know. I don't know. Can you read Blood's handwriting from his notebook? From what I remember, yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't say it's like amazing, but it's totally legible. What a cool idea. Just equipping through dialogue like that. Look at that upgrade, too. Haven't written cursive in like 10 years. Yeah, I still... You know, when you gotta write like a congrats on your wedding card or whatever, the cursive pops out. Man, we got Ghost and Paper Mario tomorrow. I have not played a single second of Paper Mario. I have no idea how good it is. But I'm just curious what the divide is, if there is a divide in chat. What are y'all playing? Or nothing. Or everything. I don't know. Still playing P5R. Yeah, I need to play a lot more P5R. I enjoy it so much. But there's so many current releases coming out. There we go. That's our scent. I talk about this all the time, but it really does drive me up a wall. I was playing Ghost of Tsushima, and the sprint is clicking in the left stick, of course, very common. But then I was playing Deadly Premonition 2, and the right bumper, the R button on your Switch Pro controller, is what sprints you in Deadly Premonition 2. So I went from Deadly Premonition 2 to playing Ghost, and I kept hitting R1 to sprint, and I just kept using using up ammunition. Not the game's fault, of course. Just frustrating. I think you've been for mentioning Sleeping Dogs a couple weeks back, played it and put about 40 hours into it. It's such a fun little gem. Yeah, absolutely. I'm really happy that you played Sleeping Dogs. That is a game that, despite having unfavorable comparisons to things like GTA and other open world games, really has a focus and identity to it, and is just a really fun video game. Absolutely, man. That's great. Why would you sprint when you have the skateboard? You don't have access to the skateboard in certain spots. That's why. Yeah, it turns out Madarame, not a good guy. I'm helping in the making of games, but no time to play them, sadly. Living vicariously through you, Easy LS, thanks. Yeah, huge props to you. It sounds so empty, but I really have nothing but the biggest respect for anyone who creates or tries to create art, right? Hard thing to do. Japanese or English for Ghost? Interesting question, because it's an interesting situation. I'm playing a lot of Ghost with my wife, and she prefers it in English, and so we're playing in English. I should try out the Japanese, though, to see the difference. I have not tried it yet. Hey Sage, how you doing? Doing good, man. Not gonna lie, I was shocked by your opinion on Ghost, but I understand the fatigue. I totally understand where you're coming from, Sage, but it's disappointing. I think people just assume that I don't like open world games or that I'm fatigued by open world games, and I don't think that's necessarily the case. The criticisms that I have with Ghost, I feel, are very specific to Ghost, not just like oh man, there's too many open world games. Even if that's true, I don't think it applies in my criticism of Ghost. It's not just like, oh man, I don't want this right now. I was very, 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 very excited about it. Okay, cool. I understand. Oh yeah, totally. You're not doing anything wrong. Just clarifying.
だからってよ。
個展の時にね、飾ってあった絵を私が褒めたの。けど北川くん、様子が変だった。
Which open worlds did you like recently? I mean, there's a lot to choose from, right? Like, Red Dead 2 has an amazing open world, right? Filled with interesting stories.
もしかしたらあの絵も盗作。
どうするよ。これもまだらめがターゲットでいいだろう。
Even if the shooting in Red Dead is not great. Are you excited for anything about the Xbox showcase next week? I am, yeah. I'm really looking forward to it. I am trying to keep my expectations somewhat tempered, but I want to know, I want to see Halo Infinite. I really do. I like Halo a lot. I want to see Halo Infinite. I hope it meets my expectations. That ghost tweet, though, really did show that people will do anything to try to delegitimize criticism. It's like, no, it's valid criticism. It's okay. There's not like some secret behind it. Sometimes I think it's healthy to take things at face value.
待てお前ら。もう一度ユウスケに事実を確認しよう。
んだよ確認って。
実際に悪事があったのかどうか裏取っといた方がいいってことだよ。
めんどくせえ。
それにまだらめのことまだ知らなすぎるだろう。うん、そうだね。私北川くんに連絡してみるね。モデルの話受ければ真相聞けるかもしれないし。え、
On putting herself at risk.
もちろんみんなも来てよ。一人じゃ怖いし。
偉い画家の先生か。鴨志田より手強いかもしれねえ。
This is the second palace. So it's a number of hours in, but it's still not very far. Welcome to Persona 5.
まあユウスケから裏取れるまでは準備だな。怪盗団としての初陣だ。絶対成功させんぞ。
Oh, somebody, Rinder mentioned Alatreon. Rinder, the best advice I can give. So I was doing Alatreon with 4 people repeatedly, and we just weren't getting it. Like, we would clear 3 DPS checks and then die at the 4th one. And it was a struggle, but when I scaled it back to 2 people, so just me and somebody else, we had a much easier time because the threshold for the DPS check is smaller, and if you get somebody else that knows what they're doing, I think it's a little bit easier to coordinate. So I would definitely try doing Alatreon with 2 people if you can. It's a little unintuitive because the game definitely pushes you to do 4 people. But yeah, I would definitely try 2 if you can. Would you really forgive someone unconditionally if you owe your life to them? Unconditionally? I don't know. Will you be getting Death Stranding on PC? No, probably not. I was actually talking about this with Ian because he was like, man, I would love to jump back into Death Stranding if I could just kind of skip ahead to where you have a bunch of stuff unlocked and run around the world and build stuff. And I was like, yeah, I would do that too. That sounds like a lot of fun. But in terms of the story, it's kind of one of those stories that I'm really glad that I experienced, but I don't know that I would want to experience again, especially so soon. That doesn't sound too appealing to me. But yeah, so probably not for that reason. The idea that these high school kids have to tackle these kinds of decisions because no one else is stepping up and fixing the problem is really fascinating to me. Really think the Xbox thing is going to bring it. They have a lot at stake. That's my hope. Yeah, I think that is definitely a possibility, Sage. And yes, I'm with you. Man, I've not been able to play as much of the MCC on Steam as I would like. Like some Halo 3 multiplayer. Sounds really good. Ben, did you get to play Cold Steel 3 eventually? No, I mean, I haven't like sat down to play through Cold Steel 3. I did do a preview of it where I played it and talked through it with some NSA people, but I haven't sat down to play through it because I'm not caught up to the point to play through it. But I have demoed it. Fable has to happen, right, guys? I mean, come on, it has to be back. As somebody who does not like Fable very much, I would be very interested in Fable coming back. I want to see what form it would take. Alright, we have to rest. There's no other option. Before we do that, though, I'm going to refill my coffee. Ben, Beneath the Mask versus Heartbeat Heartbreak. Would pick Beneath the Mask there, I think. Alright, be right back. Man. I was just thinking about how hard it is for me. Like, I just enjoy talking to you guys so much, and I enjoy talking about video games so much, right? That it's hard for me to focus on the game and get involved in those conversations as well. Especially with an RPG, where you have a lot of wiggle room to slip in conversations. At least you've already played it. Yeah, that's true. I mean, the original version at least, right? How many games are there going to be on an Xbox thing that wows you? I guess 3 to 4. Good question. I don't know who I was talking about this with, but I get so frustrated because it's no one's fault, right? It's not the audience's fault, and it's not really the game creator's fault, but there are so many trailers that you see for brand new games, right? New IPs that you've never heard of before. And calling them IPs is a little lame, but whatever. New games that, you know, aren't a sequel, right? Or a remake or something. It's harder to get excited about it because you don't know what it is, right? And even if it looks intriguing, you're just naturally not going to hit the same level of excitement as you would a sequel to a thing that you already love. And so I think there might be things that don't necessarily wow you, but you're like, I want to know more. I'm curious about that. And I think that's valuable as well. DMC5 Special Edition. If only we were that lucky, right? If only. Oh, man. I need to get back to the Bloody Palace, man. If it's a great developer attached to it, you will. That's true, Nil. That's not always true, but that's definitely true as well. I think, you know, the point that I'm trying to illustrate is the complete unknowns, right? The smaller games from smaller developers, you're not going to reach that same natural excitement. I think a big name developer is the same sort of thing that I'm describing as a sequel, right? So that's what I'm talking about. But it's a good point. It's a good point. I mean, there's so many ways that the Xbox thing could be a victory in my heart, right? Halo Infinite looks incredible, mind-blowing, right? Whole new direction for Halo, really pushing it forward. Making Halo matter. That would be great. Fable kind of blows the doors off and shows us something special. It's very similar to the words that I used to describe Halo Infinite. Or just Elden Ring looking hella dope. That could do it. That could do it. Most wanted port, remaster, or remake? Very good question. Let me think about that, I guess. We've gotten so many ports, remasters, and remakes that I have to like filter through so many things in my brain. Ben's not getting out of this room, is he? That's a fair thing to say. All right, I'll keep thinking about that. I'll keep thinking about that. I don't know for a bunch of thugs to him. Okay, since we're in kind of Persona land right now, I would really like if the older Persona games were more accessible, right? Put all that shit out on Steam, and that's true of just Shin Megami Tensei in general. I would love to see that series kind of get the same level of treatment that Final Fantasy gets, where, you know, things get re-released and enhanced and put on Game Pass and all that stuff. I would like to see that applied to Shin Megami Tensei. I think that would be cool. I don't know if that's my most wanted, but that's definitely one that I would appreciate. I think also, if we're talking like full-on Blue Point level of remake, just completely built from the ground up and reimagined, I would like to see a fully 3D, incredibly good-looking Dragon Quest 1/Dragon Warrior remake, right? Just completely reimagined. Final Fantasy VII remake style. I think that would be cool too. A KOTOR remake would be that rad. You know, you really hit a good one there. KOTOR is a great one to bring up. Yeah, for sure. So not like current art style, but more realistic. I don't know if I would want it to necessarily be more realistic. I think the Dragon Quest look is essential, but... Watching Kyle play KOTOR was a ton of fun. Yeah, people were telling me about his heartbreaking ending. That's really cool, though. Really good choice for a game to stream. I want a Star Wars fighting game made by the Soul Calibur team. Very interesting. He cheesed his way through fights. This isn't even shade, but like, is anyone in the world surprised by that? Is even one person surprised by that? I feel like this playthrough is making me appreciate On more than I did in Vanilla. Can you turn down the game? Yes, I can. I turned it up when I went to go get coffee, and I just let it ride. That was probably a mistake. Everyone says it, and I say it all the time. There's really no point in saying it. But how on point the Persona 5 soundtrack is unnatural. It's weird. They just bip and boop and bop between all of these different styles and all these different genres, scene to scene, and they're just like, nailed it every time. It's amazing. It's amazing. Masters. Is anything more enjoyable in this world than watching artists or craftsmen be masters at their craft? There's not. There's nothing more satisfying. Do I feel like Royal is easier? I can't really answer that question because I played Vanilla on Normal and I'm playing this on Merciless. This has been harder so far, not like astronomically hard or anything, but, you know, harder. And I don't feel like Persona 5 put up too much of a challenge on Normal until later on. So unclear at this time. I definitely do think difficulty in these games comes down to familiarity with the series and demon fusing in general, and that sort of thing. Like I think, like many RPGs, knowledge of the mechanics goes a long way. And if you're new to it, right, I think it's going to be a little harder, which is natural. Ironhead and Bison, thanks for the 43 months, man. Loved the Jason Voorhees impression. Did I do a Jason Voorhees impression? I don't even remember. I do like that you can bounce around the difficulty whenever, though, and it's chill. And there aren't trophies associated with difficulty. So if you need it to be easier or harder for any particular reason, you could do that. Always a good choice. Levine, you made me. It got me reflecting on the Hunting Huber episode. And then I was just like, man, Huber is just such a fun, wholesome guy. Which he is, that's true. And he's not very competitive. He's definitely less competitive than some of the other allies. But he's got a smidge of competitiveness in him. It doesn't happen very often, but every once in a great while, the salt will come out. And even then, it's like the most wholesome salt ever. And it got me thinking about the Hearthstone match that we had. And he just quit out of the game, saying pay to win must be nice. Oh, it was so funny. I wish we had that on video. Huber got so salty during the Wheel of Fortune stream. The group stream one? Maybe it was another Wheel of Fortune stream that I didn't see, but I don't remember Huber getting salty. I wonder what the Allies' salty ranking would be. Like, who's the saltiest to least salty? Oh, just unanimously in chat. Jones is the #1 salty. You think so? Yeah. I mean, everybody has their moment in the sun, right? Ian can get pretty salty too. Brad is not very salty at all. Brad is definitely on the lower end of salt for sure. Jones salt is fun. I like Jones salt a lot because if you watch Jones very closely, it's like a bottle, right? That somebody put a cork in, and you can just see it building. And he's like, he wants to say something, but he doesn't, right? Because he's trying to be respectful, which is adorable. And then eventually the cork just pops off, right? And he'll throw in like one cut at somebody. They'll just go like, "Oh, really? You're doing that?" And it comes across as like the saltiest thing you've ever heard. It's so good. I love it. Very fun salt. Oh yeah, Don is probably the least salt. I've never... Well, I guess I shouldn't say I've never seen Don be salty. I think I've seen Don be salty, but he's... Yeah, he's not salty at all. Does Brad get salty? Man, I want to see this. I can't think of any times. I can definitely be a salty motherfucker. I can get so salty. I'm too competitive for my own good. Who do you think you're talking to? What's my top 3 favorite Huber stories? Oh, man. Huber is a storyteller. I don't know if I could reduce it down to 3. I feel like every time I interact with Huber, he has a new favorite story in some way or another. Favorite Huber stories. I mean, one that is specific to me is... There was a GT stream, there's a game trailer stream, where I was playing Hearthstone, and I was trying to hit Legend, right? I was rank 1. And I just kept losing. It was just brutal. And then I was getting tilted, and so I was doing even worse, right? And it was just vicious. And I don't think there was anybody else in the office. Not a soul. Except, you know, for maybe the custodial crew. And I remember halfway in the stream, Huber came. He, like, drove to... I say the studio, but it was the office at the time. Drove to the office and just hung out. And it was just such an incredibly nice, sweet gesture that I'll never forget it. Never forget it in my life. But I think a lot of you guys know that one. The peacock. Oh man, I could tell Huber stories all day. This is another classic that you've probably heard before. This isn't my story, this is Jones's story. Huber would come up to people, and he did this to me too. You'd just be like sitting at your desk trying to play a game or answer an email or something, and he'd just go, "What's up, dude?" He just put his hands on your shoulder. He's a very physical guy, and I don't remember exactly what Jones said. He'd probably be able to tell the story better than I could. But Huber was still new at the time, and he like came up and he touched Jones, and Jones was just like, "Don't, dude." Like, he was just very cut and dry serious. And poor Huber was like, oh, I'm sorry. You know, of course he doesn't mean to make anybody uncomfortable, but oh, that's a good story. It sums up so many things perfectly.
は
ごめん、私じゃダメ。
いや、違うんだ。ただ、今日はちょっと調子が出ない。
I'm laughing and I'm
悪いが、
coughing up my coffee.
ふざけんな。何時間待たされたと思ってんだよ。
ごめん、今日ね、話があって。
お前んとこの先生の噂だよ。
A more recent one. Huber calling Strider Struder is you can't try to be that funny. You can only accidentally be that funny. Amazing moment if you haven't seen Struder. We were playing the Genesis Mini, which has Strider on it, and Huber just goes something along the lines of like, "Yo, what's Struder?" Just an impulsive, yeah.
またそれか。
私が個展で見たあの絵、本当は北川くんが描いたんだよね。
それは。
They got Struder.
そうなんだ。
お前の先生、マジやべえんだけど、弟子をただのものだと思ってやがる。
I'm looking at that clip now. I've got to see this. Yeah, I don't know if it's clipped out. It's a shame that you have to dig through streams to find it, but it's worth seeking out. It's very, very good.
だから盗作だろうが虐待だろうが、そんなのお構いなしってわけだ。
This is just a Huber story stream now. That's what's taken over.
言っとくが、俺らに隠し事は通用しねえからな。
何を言ってるんだか。
Okay. I'm going to tell you a story that I don't condone and I don't think is a good idea. But is also hilarious and pretty innocent. So, there's this place in LA that sells games early. I'm not going to say what it is. But sometimes we go to that place to try to get games. And, you know, Huber being Huber, especially when we were in the office and working with each other, we would hype each other up. It would be like a battery powering up, where it would be like, oh man, I just want to play this thing so bad. Like, oh yeah, me too. When is it gonna happen? I wonder if that store's gonna get the game in early. And that kind of attitude brought the when meme around. When we would hear about something and our only response to it would be when. So we went on this store's Facebook page, and they'd be talking about some sale that they had. And we would just go... We only did this, like, 2 or 3 times in total over the span of, like, a couple of years. But they'd be talking about a sale or whatever. And we would reply on Facebook, you know, X game, whatever it was, when. And they would just be so sweet. And they would go... oh, hey, you know, we don't know, but call to pre-order or whatever. But there was something inside of us that was like, that was so funny to us. And saying it out loud, it doesn't sound funny at all. But it felt like our only recourse to fight off the excitement.
逆らえなかったんでしょ。でも私たちならきっと力に。
やめてくれ。お前たちの言う通り、俺たちは先生の作品だ。
The fact that they read and responded is hilarious and sweet. They were super, super sweet about it. Yes. Reminds me of people calling GameStop and asking for Battletoads and stuff. Yeah. It's maybe like one notch above that, but it's definitely in the same realm. For sure.
勘違いしないでくれよ。俺は自分から着想を譲ったんだ。これは盗作とは言わない。先生は今スランプなだけだ。どういうこと？
北川君。
出てけばいいだろ。弟子にもみんな逃げられて、それでお前一人ってことじゃねえのかよ。
弟子が師匠を助けて何が悪い？被害者などどこにもいない。身勝手な正義を押し付けるな。
Ben, speaking of hype, I need a buy, wait for sale, skip using the old ACG system there. I like it. And Ghost of Tsushima. I've forgotten how to say Tsushima again. Oh well. Really tough question to answer. For me, I would probably say wait for sale. But also keep in mind that that game is getting really good scores and a lot of people deeply love it. And so I don't know where you'll fall in. My biggest complaints are that I think the open world is pretty bland, and I think the poor AI kind of and poor difficulty balance kind of undercut some of the cooler combat moments and trivialize some of it. Those are my biggest things. But there's a lot of good in there, and it is one of the most gorgeous games I've played this year. Like, the environments are just stunning to look at, for sure. Incredible landscapes. So it's hard to say. I would probably say wait for sale, but I could see a lot of people reasonably saying buy and have that make total sense. That probably didn't help you at all. You're okay with this?
俺は弟子として先生を支えている。二度と来るな。次は迷惑行為で訴えてやる。
待てよ、話は済んでねえんだよ。
じゃあ仕方ないな。
おい。
通報させてもらう。
Ben completely changed gears, but wanted to mention I finished FF9 for the first time last night. Been on my backlog ever since your praise during Hall of Greats. It was excellent. Some of the best characters in Final Fantasy. One of the greats. That's awesome. I always have this fear that new people won't like Final Fantasy 9, and that it's a game that's so precious to me. It's hard when somebody's like, "Oh, I thought it was shit," just because it's one of the most important games to me ever, and easily my favorite Final Fantasy. So. That's awesome. I always love when people play it and enjoy it, of course. Don't talk to Damian again. No, I mean, it's good to hear that. I like when somebody disagrees with me. It's hard to hear for that game. There are a couple of games where it's hard. So the games where it's hard for me are Final Fantasy 9, Metal Gear Solid, Resident Evil Remake is one of those games. What else? Dark Souls 1 is one of those games. But, you know, I think in all of those cases, there's plenty of valid criticism. Even if it's hard to hear, there's a lot that you could probably throw at those things. For sure.
今日はモデルをお願いしたんだ。そもそも他の二人を呼んだ覚えはない。
だとこら。
Kochar for me. Kochar's a good one. Persona 5, I love Persona 5 very deeply. I don't think it's quite in that tier of game for me, but, you know, that's also competing with childhood innocence and nostalgia as well, so it gets a little complicated. Like, all the games that I mentioned were games of my childhood, except for maybe Dark Souls, but even then, you know, that was a long time ago.
リュウジやめなって。落ち着こう。
I just remember because just because you're losing your wits with Kyle. Yeah. Kyle is very good at pushing buttons for sure. And I say that as a compliment. It sounds like an insult, but it's a compliment.
通報はやめておく。
But it's also fun pushing Kyle's buttons, like revving him up as he revs you up is good. I think only good things come from that.
条件？
高巻さんにモデルを続けてほしい。
でもさっき違うって。
あれは俺が無意識に君に遠慮してしまっていたから。けどもう心配しなくていい。君が。俺も全身全霊を込めて。
Somehow I can't remove Final Fantasy VII as my greatest of all time. Did so much for me and impacted me in a big way. Absolutely. Totally understand that. Final Fantasy VII was my first Final Fantasy, and I was so obsessed with that game that I remember like being dragged to some 4th of July thing with my family, and I was like, fuck this. I'm bringing this Final Fantasy VII guide with me, and I'm just going to look at the enemies and look at the environments and the characters, just because that's where I wanted to be, right? I love feeling that way about a game.
ラフ？
理想のモデルでラフ画を描けるなんて。
It wasn't a Prima guide. I think it was Bratty Games for Final Fantasy VII, if I remember correctly.
もちろんお前らは入れないし、今日の話も忘れてもらう。そろそろ新作を先生に提出しないと。色。
ラフってヌードでしょ？なんでそんな話になんの？
I miss being able to browse through guides and instruction booklets. Yes, the biggest loss, or one of the biggest losses of the rise of digital, especially on PC, is like those PC instruction manuals could be amazing. Like, there were good console instruction manuals as well, but on PC especially, you would get fat books. Man, it was a companion. Ben, would you want a Final Fantasy VII style remake for Final Fantasy IX? Good question. My gut reaction is no. I don't really need any more from Final Fantasy IX. I kind of like Final Fantasy IX as is, but I think they could definitely prove me wrong, right? And make something fantastic. That's appreciable in a different way, kind of like Final Fantasy VII Remake is appreciable in a totally different way than the original game. So it could definitely happen. But I don't need it. I'm not, like, clamoring for it.
それが条件だからだ。
そんなのって。
いやそれまずくね？
古典の会期中なら昼は先生も不在が多いし、ここを好きに使えるな。少し画材を足しておこう。
ちょっと待った。
もちろん待とう。
Somebody mentioned the giant boxes that PC games came in. Those were the best because they got more and more elaborate, right? Where they would have like Velcro on the front of them, and you would open it up and it would be this entire panel. And you'd be like, oh, some sick game, and you'd open it and there'd be this gorgeous art with a battle going on. Yeah. Yeah, that shit was awesome. It made going through a game store and browsing so much fun. Yes, yes, yes.
君に合わせていつでも予定を空ける。5点が終わる頃までには来てくれ。
違うって何か 勝手に。
そろそろ先生がお戻りになる。今日はここまでだ。
ダメダメ、話。
おい、どうするよ。
Thank you, AC3 and 2 for the 36 months.
簡単に納得すんな。
We are giving up pretty easily. That's fair. On.
あれ、モデル終わった？
ね。
バカ。
What I will tell you is, I'm super glad we got rid of CD keys. That shit was the biggest pain in the ass. I hated it. You were like, oh man, I miss playing this game. You throw it in your drive, and you're like, okay, cool, time to install. Oh, CD key, where the hell did I put that thing? Oh my god, CD keys were abysmal.
やつのあの言い方じゃ。
Morgana's freaking out.
いいから。
つか、個展が終わる前にまだらめを改心させれば OK ってことじゃね。
でも北川君はまだらめを恩人って思ってる。改心させる必要あるのかな。じゃあアンドのはフルにねえから。
まだらめだって鴨志田と変わんねえ。野郎は親のいないユウスケを利用してやがんだぜ。他の弟子たちと同じひでえ目に遭わされんの見過ごせってのか。
けど本人にそれでいいとか言われ。アンドのは鴨志田のこと耐えてたから。
とにかく絶対狙うべきだろう。
This is a really good palace. This whole Madarame section is good. Maybe not quite as strong as Kamoshida, but still good.
そうだよね。まずはまだらめのことを調べないとな。
表沙汰になってないこととかまだまだあるかもしんねえし。
個展で忙しくなればパレスの中を。あと私のモデルの新作を提出しないと不都合があって、北川君近々まだらめの作品ってことで。
じゃあお前。ああ。
何の保証にもな。これは
Poor
何でも個展が終わるまでにまだらめを何とかしないとな。
早速明日の放課後から動こうぜ。屋上はまた会長さんに見つかると面倒だし、渋谷の通路みてえなあそこでいいか。まだらめんちからも近いし。
I enjoy the palace itself, but boy, all this stuff out here is a huge mood whiplash after the first palace. Excuse me. I think that's actually a problem that Persona 5 has, is it can be a bit of a mood whiplash sometimes. For sure. I think that's super fair.
我が輩嫌いじゃないぜ。ちょっと君たち。
Oh yeah! You! I don't even remember your name. You're alright. Definitely not my favorite character, but you're alright.
見たとこ君らただの押しかけファンって雰囲気じゃないよね。ごめん。実はまだらめの門下生と知り合いの人間を探してんの。昔盗難にあったっていうさゆりって絵があるんだけどね。
Really cool style, though. I'm into it. Love and miss you guys. Hope to see you all again once this pandemic is over. Also, Ben, I want to challenge you at Evo next year. You can pick the game. Be your true rival. Sure. Thanks for the 36 months.
当時の門下生が まだらめの虐待の腹いせに盗んで出てったって噂を掴んだわけ。なんか聞いたことない？そうか。被害者がいて初めて事件になる。一旦出直すかな。私記者やってんの。何かネタあったらここに連絡くれる？それじゃ。
今日は解散すっか。
Ben, do you have any pro strats for building stamina to play long games like this one? I find myself tiring out pretty quickly. I can't do more than the 2-hour stretch most days. Am I just trying too hard to play the wrong games? No, I think that's a thing everyone suffers. So no, I don't think that's weird or anything. Some people will find this blasphemy, but I think if you're doing something like just doing a series of battles, right, in an RPG, or whatever, something that doesn't require a focus because of the narrative, it's just kind of going through the motions to get stronger, whatever it is, I think it's totally okay to have something on in the background, right, like another stream or a YouTube video or a podcast or whatever it is, because that will make the tedium less apparent, for sure. I love Rainbow Six Siege, but can only do 2-hour stretches. I miss Rainbow Six Siege. I really want to return to it again, but then I just remember the awful experience I had in one game with the community. That was like total nonsense. I don't know. Maybe it's better now. Hit you with a wild prediction? I don't know, man. I'm not great at wild predictions. That is unforgivable. You going to give Crosscode a try? I would definitely like to at some point. Yeah, definitely. Well, I was just talking about that, I feel like. I feel like we just had the Crosscode conversation. But yes, at some point, I definitely would. feel like paid online has been normalized so much that no one even cares about it anymore. Yep. That's definitely the truth. Actually trying to juggle Xenoblade and Crosscode. It's hard. Yeah, I bet. I bet it's hard. I was going to say Xenoblade is kind of a good juggle game, but maybe it's a terrible juggle game. Maybe it's one you just kind of need to plow through. Ben, you checking out Fairy Tail? I imagine you guys are swamped with reviews and previews. That is true. We are swamped with reviews and previews. I'm not going to check it out. Brad is going to check it out. I don't have any experience with Fairy Tail, so he's definitely the person for the job there.
Yeah.
私らもこれからアジトに行くとこ。あの人って。
君。
中野原だ。三島から連絡を受けて、今日渋谷で会うことになってた。
マジ？
中野原です。回答お願いチャンネルに書き込まれた中野原夏彦。
なんか優しそうな感じだね。多分改心。
管理者から連絡もらってる。猫を連れた囚人の。
If only it was that easy, right? If only you could change people's hearts in the real world. We get a lot of stuff done.
で、その中野原さんがこいつに何の用？
聞いてると思うけど、怪盗団に改心させてほしい奴がいる。まだらめって画家だ。
おいおい、来たんじゃね？
そういえばあの人。
私はまだらめの元弟子なんだ。住み込みで絵のことばかり考えてた。少し上に兄弟子がいてね。当然まだらめに目をつけられたよ。まあ兄弟子に限らずの話なんだがね。
よし、盗作の裏取れたぜ。
その兄弟子ね。
自殺？
まだらめが自分の作品で評価されて、さすがに怖くなって、けど方々に圧力をかけられて、心機一転で絵とは別の道を。区役所に勤めたけどダメだった。絵の執着で気持ちが歪んでしまってね。ついにはストーカーにまで。改めてお願いだ。まだらめを改心させてほしい。一人の男の命を救うためにも。
I'm leaning on dropping XPC for good. I'm about 10 hours in and I'm just not vibing with the combat system. It's too passive. The combat system definitely takes a long time to ramp up. It's funny though, because once it does ramp up, I actually like how active it is. It gets very, very active. Way more active than most JRPGs. And some of those boss fights are intense, and you constantly have to like manage position and abilities and chain attacks and stuff. But it takes a while to get there, that's for sure. Xenoblade 2 is definitely the same in that respect as well. Yeah, that's true.
君と同い年くらいだったかな。
ユウスケのことだ。
絵の才能があるばかりか。彼 身寄りがなくてまだらめには格好のカモだ。
北側言いなりになるしかねえってことか。
まだまだらめのところにいた頃、その彼に聞いたことがあるんだ。まだらめと一緒にいて辛くないのかいって。逃げられるものなら逃げ出したいってね。
北川君、
逃げ出した私が言うのもなんだが、自殺した兄弟子の悲劇は繰り返したくない。せめて善とある若者だけでも助けられないかと。まだらめの開示、検討していただけるようどうかよろしくお願いいたします。
Yeah, I mean, if you're not vibing with it, that's totally understandable. That happens.
まだらめの被害者から直接頼まれたんだ。
Sour, please? What are we sour, please? Nani?
まだらめを改心させるのにもう迷ってる暇はなさそうだ。
おうよ。まだらめは弱い奴らを食い物にする正真正銘のクズだ。
Beer Spice does have a good comment. I would say switching off of Shulk definitely improves things a lot. Shulk is the most basic, and especially once you get past like the Shulk and Rhine part, a lot of the other characters are way more fun. I wish you could switch between them in battle. I think that would add a lot.
自殺なんて私の周りでそんなことさせない。それに北川君の本音も聞けたしね。
Just started playing Melia. Melia is one of my favorites, for sure. They don't explain how she works very well, but it's not too bad if you spend a little bit of time with it.
じゃあ全会一致ってことで話の続きは新アジトでだ。
I see so many people praising XBC1, but I played XBC2 and hated it. Probably not worth it to get the first one right, or are they that different? They're similar. To say they're completely different probably isn't true, but I think 1, especially Definitive Edition, is a better game than 2. In a lot of ways. And I like 2 a lot. This is coming from somebody who likes 2 a lot, but I think 1 is better. So I think it's definitely worth giving a shot. There are things in 1 that haven't aged very well, and the side quests are awful. So there's definitely some rough edges in 1, but I like it a lot. I think watch the review for Definitive Edition and see what you think. I was pretty happy with how that review turned out. Thanks for the 8 months, Ashes.
今回のターゲットはまだらめだ。見ただろあのパレス。前と同じなんて舐めてたら痛い目を見るぜ。それにアンドノの低層がかかってる。はあ？やることは鴨志田の時と同じだ。まずはパレスで潜入ルートを確保。その上で心をいただく予告。
はいはい、質問。まだらめってなんで警戒されてたわ？
だいぶ学習してるな。きっと誰も信じてないんだろう。知らない相手は全員敵扱いなのさ。それか悪い噂が広まってるって知って
じゃあパレスが荒れてんのもらい事故みてえな。
何にせよ我が輩たちはいい子ちゃんで言っとこうぜ。
I don't know, dude. Monster Quest 3 Part 2 really stuck with me. That's a good joke. Yeah. The side quests are bad. They're just not great. We're finally getting into the palace, chat. You ready for this shit? Does anyone have a good resource to check out to maybe understand how Affinity in Xenoblade 1 works a little bit better? Affinity is actually, it's not very well explained, but it's actually not that complicated. If you have questions, I can probably answer them about Affinity. What's nice about Affinity, though, is you don't really have to worry about it that much. Like, as long as you're doing normal things, like switching your party members around and helping them out when they're in trouble in battle, a lot of it takes care of itself. It's not like a mechanic that you have to worry about. Like, I wouldn't spend time obsessing over it. Okay, cool. Yeah, there are a number of things in Xenoblade that are like not very well explained, and that was actually something going through the first time where I would have questions or be confused, and chat would really clear it up for me. So I totally get that frustration. Look at this, man. But yeah, if anybody is ever like, man, Xenoblade is really overwhelming and that turned me off, I can sit there and go, yeah, that makes sense. I get that. That's super fair. You guys ready to infiltrate a palace? Just finished Persona 4 Golden and it only took me 90 hours. Did you like it? Did you like Persona 4 Golden? It's so awesome seeing this resurgence of Persona 4 love due to the PC release. Are you catching up on Doom Patrol? I just started rewatching with a friend and it's been a blast. I've only seen the first episode so far, but I really liked it a lot. Hope to continue it. It's just, I've been spending so much and needing to spend so much time playing games that committing an hour to an episode is currently a pretty big ass. I said big ass. I meant ask with a K, not ass. Ben, I bought Divinity 2, but I don't have any friends to run through with. Do you recommend single player? Oh, absolutely. Divinity 2 is great single player. Don't be afraid to switch to easy, though. It's definitely a hard game, especially if you're new to it, because you can switch on the fly, and take your time. There's a lot to digest in Divinity 2, and that statement can be applied in many different ways, but it's a slow burn, and I think treating it like a slow burn really helps. I love how, and I mean this, I love how I just accidentally say ass, and Twitch chat is like, must be thinking about butts, he's an ass man. Got him. It's just like, no, just misspoke, but I'm glad that you did this. Man, those Kyle emotes are so good. You showed your true colors as an ass man, even if just for a second. Yep, you got me. Write that on my tombstone. True colors, ass man. Nice cover. That's what's great about the internet. The internet's like, no, fuck you, I know you. You ass man. Oh, it's good. It's good times. Why do I not remember traits? Are traits new? I don't remember traits at all. Traits seem like a really cool idea. I'm kind of into that. More layers, man. More layers. Straight up allows you to bust a game wide open. Nice. Okay, what time is it? Man, we don't have much time on the stream left, but I do have to take a quick research break. Hopefully we'll get a little bit of Palace time in. It's been a lot of me yammering, but it's been a good time. Chat, you've been good sports. Be right back. I come back and I see an Atoshi clip that says True Colors Ass Man. What up, chat? What up? Yo, in like 20 years, I'm gonna be able to use Atoshi clips to chronicle my life. Like I'll actually be able to do that. Can I do more special battles yet? You know, we promised Palace. Let's do Palace. I have a new monitor and I had to change my camera placement, and it's great when I'm doing like Zoom calls or whatever and I can just be straight on, but when I'm streaming I'm definitely off to the side in an awkward way. It's not great. It's not great. You know, I've really gotten used to facial hair. This is just random. I'm just looking at myself and thinking, I've really gotten used to facial hair. I like this a lot. I like it a lot. I like that you can see the guards patrolling along as you are going into the palace. How's the missus feel about the beard? Good question. I think she was kind of lukewarm on it at first, but she keeps saying to me, like, oh man, you know, the more that time passes, the more that I really like it. And I was like, hell yeah, we're in, bro. So it's going pretty well. It's going pretty well. Hobo Keeper is one of the greats. Dude, it's so funny. Like, I don't remember, I'm sure there was, but I don't really, outside of like, maybe a very small recollection of like Huber beard transition, Huber grew a beard in the most Huber way possible. It was like nothing, and then like a forest, and it was amazing. It's a beautiful thing. A beautiful piece, as Huber would say. I have a feeling that all facial hair has that effect. Initially, it's hesitation, and then people grow to like it. I think there's some truth to that, man. I do. The full Kratos, yeah, it's great. I for one, am down for Viking Huber and fully support it. Chat, we're finally in a battle.
点は見当たらないな。
Oh, baby. Oh, baby. All right. Let's pay attention to this. Tell me the personality. Just realized Kyle actually left just because he didn't want to grow a beard. Damn it. They figured it out. They figured out the real reason Kyle left. This is going to ruin us. Don't overthink it. Just go and say hi. Okay. So he wants to be treated nice. So let's try red here. Okay. Not the best, not the worst. Let's try being super nice here. Not working. Damn, I really thought, based on Morgana's description, that that would work. Sometimes lucky, man. I am tapping my desk, sorry. I did it. Wasn't even thinking about it. Just bopping along like an idiot to the music, man. Is it just me, or are SMT demon designs untouchably good? We're actually having a chance with demons. Better not make any wisecracks with this one. Okay. Okay, no wisecracks. Couldn't you just improve yourself, like, in your room without bothering other people? Is that a masturbation joke? These choices are weird. There's no, like... I guess this is the most straightforward? Just absolutely crushed it. Do you think Capcom will ever try remakes of Devil May Cry series like they've done with Resident Evil? I think it is possible. But I think right now, Itsuno is spending his time making us a sweet, sweet, sweet version of Dragon's Dogma 2. But I think a Devil May Cry 1 remake could be phenomenal. And like, for Devil May Cry 2, it's just try again, right? Fuck, that game is bad. They don't need to remake 3, though. 3 is pretty damn good. Pretty good.
いかれてるぜ。お、爆発強めたぜ。一人、我が半身、完璧1、大攻めだ。ピルソナ。どうだ、この華麗な技。
You don't like deafening your ears to the sound of gunfire for 20 hours. There are Devil May Cry 2 defenders. There are people that really like that game. And I don't understand. Of course, people can like whatever they want. I just don't get it. Been playing Crosscode and it's really good. Man, the Crosscode hype in this chat. Through the roof. Thought me liking Fallout 76 was bad and then I met DMC2 fans. I dipped into Wastelanders for a hot minute. I need to go back to it though. I do want to give it a chance. I want to give Wastelanders a chance. Being an ass man, were you disappointed in DMC censorship? I don't know if I would say disappointed. It was pretty silly though, right? Like super unnecessary. Pretty cool. Pretty damn cool. It felt like they reduced Lady and Trish to objects. Yeah, they really did Lady and Trish dirty in 5. They do almost nothing in 5. And it sucks, because I like both of them. I especially like Lady a lot, and her story in 3 is great. It's one of the best parts about 3, from a narrative perspective, anyway. Imagine a special edition where you can play as Lady and Trish. Wouldn't that be sick? Boy, it sure would. Oh, I can't go against that desk? Mark it down. Put Lady in a fighting game? Yeah, You've got Virgil, you've got Dante, you've got Trish, all in fighting games, but no lady. Bummer. As much as I like Lady, though, I do think she was kind of boring to play it for. Like, I'm glad she's there, but I don't know, I didn't find her that much fun. The boss fight in 3, though, is cool. Well, ooh, safe room. Oh shit, chat. We've got 5 minutes left. Alright, we can probably do one more fight, and we'll save it up. This has been a super fun stream. I feel like we just chill and play good video games and talk about asses. It's alright. Hope you had a good time, chat. Play games, discuss asses. This is the content I live for. This music gives me life. That was cool. Don't kill her. Okay, great, thank you. Good stuff. Good stuff. That was lucky. I thought that would be a technical. It was not. Jeez, the damage you take. This guy just gave up. Technical makes P5R a cakewalk too. I can see that. I really like it, but I could see it making it pretty easy. I feel like I'm not even intending to get technicals than I am. Man, who do I want to give up? We'll give up Barrett, I guess. Very good skill on Merciless. Wish it said the percent chance that you have for dodging or whatever. I quantified it a little better. Hologrates on Tuesday, baby. I think I know what I'm going to bring. Can you guess it, chat? I bet you can't. It's long overdue, though. Bet you can't guess. Some ass game. I accidentally say ass instead of ask one time. It's gonna follow me around the rest of my life. This is great. Ooh, somebody might be onto something. Unexpected. Somebody might be onto something. But who is it? Who is it? We'll never know. What's great is I could also just change my mind if I wanted to. We'll see. Hologrates will be exciting, though. That's it for my stream. Thanks for joining, everybody. I know it's been a while. I've been working on content. That feels gross to say. But yeah, working on content. Paper Mario coming out tonight. Gonna try to play some of that before Frame Trap. And yeah, Frame Trap this weekend for early access, Monday for everybody else. Damiani streaming some Xenoblade at 3. I'm gonna go record some secret things with the other allies. We're gonna be talking about asses.